What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my own review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we start out with Sheree. She is preparing lunch. Her chef is for Marlo and Sonya, and they discuss BravoCon. Sonya saw all the love from the fans and everything, and Marla brings up Mama Joyce on stage where she brought up Todd because she was supposed to name three things that are positive about Todd. And the only thing she said was Todd is short. I'm like, really? But I feel like production, Bravo, Andy, they knew what questions to ask to get that out of Mama Joyce. And she has no business saying it. She really don't have no problem saying it, but it's just like, girl, just stop. Mama Joy still don't like Todd after 10 years. 10 years. They literally been married for 9 years already. And you still don't like this man? Marlo feels like Candy should check her mom and not worry about talking about me because the streets are talking and the streets are her mother. You know what, Marlo? I'm going to give you that. At the same time, it don't absolve you of making every little statement about Candy because for some odd reason, you have an issue with how she don't talk about her life unless she's talking about getting the bag. That's a good thing. Unless she's talking about another business venture. That's a good thing. But you get mad when it's not real. But what is real to you, Marlo? What is? Nothing. Saying how she needs to stop talking about me. You only get brought up, Marlo, or the reason why you get red is because you come at them first, like you always do. With Kenya, with Candy, you bring up everything negative about them first, and they know how to hit you where it hurts, so you can miss me. Then they talk about what happened on the stage between Drew and Sonya. That Drew was completely confused about why did Sonya flip on her last season. Like, did I do it? Did I give you a hard time, or did you want to create a hard time? And she wanted to create a hard time. She was. Because Sonya is still like creating an issue with Drew for no reason. And then she want to say that there were text messages between her and Drew about Drew extending an olive branch, but at BravoCon, she's being wishy-washy. Well, did the text message come first or did BravoCon? Because usually BravoCon comes around when a season is over. And we're literally coming into BravoCon with remaining issues from the last season. And they talk about it pretty much to give them a preview of what's to come the upcoming season. Will there still be issues? Will there be new issues? That's exactly what it was. It's setting up what the season is going to bring. And that she's tired of her not being honest and being wishy-washy. Sonya, you weren't honest in the beginning. I feel like when I did review last season, that Sonya watched how Drew was her first season. She waited for an opportunity to not be associated with her, and that's why she's on Sheree and Marlo's side. That's what it was. Sonya did not want to be associated with how Drew was her first season. But then Drew redeemed herself the second season, and it made me really like her. And looking at Sonya like you really tried a lot to get a moment out, and it wasn't necessary. But anyway, um, Sheree is talking about Martell and that she wants her friends to respect Martell. If he don't respect her, if he don't respect others, why should we respect him? Then mention that Kenya stopped by and they have to agree to disagree because she didn't like the way that Martell came at her. But then she wants to keep up saying that Martell was ambushed. He was not ambushed, ma'am. This was a conversation about him. You brought him in, and when he got questioned, he got defensive, he got disrespectful, he got aggressive. That's what happened. Stop acting like, well, that's what Sheree does. She ignores what a man does, but want to bring up it's because of a woman. She did this, and that's why he did this. Girl, good night. They want to keep defending that the man that we see on television hasn't shown her that same person. His representative will always be there, Sheree. Now, as far as like him doing anything hurtful to you, no. But he still disregards you. I mean, we just came from the last episode where he didn't even thank you for being there. He he can't even call you his girlfriend. You're his friend girl, ma'am. Anyway, like stop. Just stop. Then Marlo going back and forth with she wasn't really feeling Martell, but then she liked him, and then how he's a gentleman, a real gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Like he picked me up from the airport. I had a car service, and he came and got me. Okay, and how she would never choose a man like that. You did. more than once. You chose cross-eyed Bob. You chose jailbait Tyrone. And now you choose an arrogant ass Martell. Good night. Whatever, Sheree. Whew. Moving on. Drew. Drew and Ralph are at a rock climbing gym on a date, and because things were rocky in their marriage last year and they moved to a much better place, want to stay in a much better place, keep up with communicating, keep up with counseling. Then they led to her talking about her music because she really wants to put an actual effort into getting music out there because we only know Drew as an actress. We've never seen Drew in a singing capacity, I think, until Step Up, but then we haven't seen her do anything else of that nature. And, she is mostly a stay at home wife and mother, but now she might have to add music, which means she might be around the kids even less. And how does he feel about that? He said it was supposed to have been like that because they're like Ike and Tina. Who? It's like Ike and Tina, first of all, R.I.P. to Ike and R.I.P. Tina Turner. R.I.P. to the Queen of Rock, Tina Turner. Oh, may she rest in peace. Anyway, sorry. But you mentioned Ike and Tina? Really? Okay, that's how you believe your relationship is? Sure, because we can see that. But Drew was like, I thought we were Jay-Z and Beyonce, because he must have hit his head on a rock. I will not eat the cake anime. That will not be me. All right. But then her song, You Already Know, has reached 30,000 streams. And I'm like, that's kind of good. But for him, she wanted his approval or wanted his opinion. And he said, that's not good. That's not good. She said, that's bad. Yeah. Then he wanted to say it's because there was no marketing. There was no set up for the show, for the single to be dropped. Well, but she said because you pushed it. You didn't want marketing. You didn't want anything else added to it. And we did it independently. We wrote the song, record the song, and then drop the song. That's all it was. And it's a good thing that she did. 30,000 streams for an independent single, that's really good. And we've never seen Drew sing like that in a long time. So the fact she went out on faith and got this much feedback, it's really, really good. But for him, he wanted to make it seem as if it's not ready, it needs to get ready. I don't know if that's him playing on Drew, wanting to keep them so connected with everything, because that's how Drew operates. Drew wants to be so connected with her husband to do everything because that's how they met. Their love of music. She sings, Ralph plays the piano. She wants to keep that glue, keep that magic that brought them together. But for me, Ralph is making it seem as if that if it wasn't for him, she wouldn't have the song. But then he kept saying that he got multiple things on his plate. He didn't have time for it. What do you have to do, sir? Are you gonna still do the book on how to be a stepfather? Is that still happening? Are you in IT? Like, what's going on there? So the fact that he's pulling away of not putting all the effort, all the support into the song, she's like, why is he pulling away? I hope it doesn't drive a wedge. Either he's setting up for you to doubt yourself that you cannot move forward with producing more music without him, without his support, that you're just going to stop altogether. Because if you don't feel like you can make it without him, then he got you wherever he wants you. You can't make a move without me, so you ain't gonna do it. I want you to stay out of that. Don't feel like you can't support yourself and do things for yourself without having him there. I'm still lost about how he written it and produced it. What? Why are you giving him that much credit? No. Moving on. We saw Kenya. Kenya is going over her products. She just had a meeting with her team, but apparently the font size for one of her bottles is not right. It's not the same font size as the other one. So she called her graphic artist and tell him, why did you choose the wrong size? The resolution is off. He just said, I did like you wanted me to. No, you should have done with the original idea. That's what I told you to do. I need it fixed. ASAP, please. So while she's reprimanding her employee about making sure that the font for her bottles is the right one. In the confessional, she's talking about how she is a boss, but she wants to be looked at as a mentor. She's kind, she's patient, and the cameras only catch her yelling at this man. But hey, if she wants something as a boss, I want it done the way that I want it done. And if you didn't do it right, you're going to get your ass handed to you. This is unacceptable. Sorry. I'm just like, I don't know what else to do. That's like the up and down of being a boss. You're gonna have to be firm. You're gonna have to be tough. Then she called Manietta to ask her to help her choreograph a dance for the Magic City alumni because she will be entering with the band. And it got me remembering Kenya Moore Hair Care, the band that she did with Marlo's event. Hilarious. And I did not know or did not remember that Manietta is a very talented choreographer. I said, come on, Manietta. Yes, you're more than just Neo's ex-wife. You're more than that. Yes, you are. Moving on from there, we get Candy. I did not like Candy's outfit nor hair this scene. I hated those Jerry curls. I didn't like it. She's at the candy factory going over her busy to-do list. Out of all the things that was written for the list, where can she fit in Todd's movie? He's been wanting to do a movie for years, and he wants to be executive producer on, but she doesn't want to be the lead. And with having so much on her plate and trying to be a part of Todd's movie, Don Juan told her, as much as you want Todd to be a producer of majority of your projects, I'm gonna need for you to do the same thing to him. Pour into him as you want him to pour into you. And that's it. I'm not mad at that. Give Todd the same attention of when he wants to do something, when a project he wants to start doing, just like how you want the same thing from him. Manietta came in and talked about BravoCon. No, before that. They talk about the opening night of the piano lesson. It was a great turnout. She was bummed about the other Broadway play getting canceled. But then her and Todd produced another play, and it was called The Piano Lesson. Todd has background in film and production. No, film and television. And he's always looking for a way for her to get her EGOT. And that's what she's nominated for, a Tony and an Emmy for The Piano Lesson. Shout out to that, all right? Then I also found out that Todd and Candy are also producers for The Wiz, an upcoming Broadway play for The Wiz. All right. So they talk about BravoCon at this point. And it was supposed to be a nice weekend, but it was some BS, okay? Her and her mom was on stage during the panel, and it was asked a question. If anything was to happen to Candy, who would she trust to control her money? She picked Don Juan because she doesn't believe that Mama Joyce will be nice to her husband. That's telling. You know your mama and you know your husband, and you know at some point, if anything was to happen to me, my mama will not be so nice to my husband. No, she wouldn't. Then after that panel, her mom and the rest of the aunties were on another panel, and they were like asked the question of what kind of man would you want for your daughter. She threw jabs at Todd about wanting a man who had a decent job. Mama Joyce, stop. Todd had a job when he was with Candy. He was on the show. He was a producer of the show, Mama Joyce. Like, I really cannot understand. Why didn't she like him? You have no proof whatsoever that Todd is sneaky. Todd is a gold digger. Like, you have no proof of that. And Don Juan is like, girl, have you told your mom how this makes you feel? But she hasn't spoken to her mom since then. And what made it worse, Kayla sent Todd that snippet of Mama Joyce saying that she wishes her daughter married a man who had money or had a decent job. You know what I'm saying? And Rod told her about her as well. And this has been going on since, season 4 when she met Todd? And it's been 10 years. They've had children together, created multiple businesses, and you still are acting like this? At this point, Candy got to put her foot down. Please be very respectful, very calmly, and say, Mama, please don't talk about my husband like that. I mean, granted. Stop doing it, Mama. Stop. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have your grandkids thinking that they can talk about their daddy like that, and that's not going to work for me. No, they can't have their grandmothers talk about my husband like that. They can't talk about their father like this. You shouldn't be doing that. Like, Mama Joyce really needs to let go of this. She needs to shush. Shush. You know what I'm saying? Like, Candy was already somebody when she got with Todd, but when Todd brought to the table, they elevated. They became a power couple. Whatever they do together. We've seen the fruits of their labor. We've seen the success that they've done together. Like, Mama Joyce needs to chill. I don't know if Mama Joyce is jealous of the fact that there's room for someone else in Kenny's life and it's not just her. Girl, get over that. I swear these parents from these old generations, they really do think they have the ability to say whatever is on their mind and can't nobody tell them that they're wrong. But you're wrong, ma'am. You're wrong. It's like I can't say you can't have an opinion, but at the same time, you don't have to always be disrespectful. Just like how I know I can't be disrespectful to you. I know I can't. But you feel like because you have a different generation, can't nobody tell you you're wrong. No, I will tell you that you're wrong. Stop talking about my husband like that. You're talking about the father of my kids. I do not want to hear this. If you're going to keep on being negative to my husband, trust and believe. All of this can be easily taken away from you. Cut off her allowance. Cut off her access of OLG. Take her, like, cut off what she used to. Cut it off. Oof. Moving on. I swear, Mama Joyce just gets me. Drew. Drew is setting up a formal introduction to Courtney that Ralph discovered that's his cousin. I'm like, y'all really trying to force Courtney on us, aren't y'all? I don't like her. I don't like her. All right. Candace FaceTimes Drew. Little crossover action between RHOA and RHOP. Um, she is no, they met in 2019 and they both have a passion for acting and music. And they celebrated their 7th anniversary with Candace and Chris. That's fun. She considers her a true friend. Candace is doing the winery tour. She's in Chicago right now, but is making her way to Atlanta. And she wanted Drew to be her special guest to sing with her. Shamari was supposed to be there as a guest, but she couldn't come. So Drew is next up. All the ladies will be invited. Then, we get Courtney and her ex-partner Bryce. Now, when Courtney and Bryce came in, it was like familiar faces all around. When Drew and Bryce linked eyes, they were like, "Oh my God, how you been? How you been? What's going on? Wait a minute. You guys know each other? You guys are dating?" No, that's the mother of my child. That's my baby daddy. So both Bryce and Courtney are the proud parents of their 24-year-old daughter who looks just like Courtney. And Drew and Bryce did a movie together about 10 years ago. I wonder what the movie was called. But they're not dating anymore. And he was one of the hottest black men in America in the 90s. He was a part of a 90s group called Groove Theory. I don't know Groove Theory, but I do recognize him of his acting skills. Because when they flashed back to the old pictures, I said, "Oh, that's who he looked like." Y'all, do y'all remember Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah, Keisha Knight Pulliam? He was one of the barbers. I take your man. Like, you like him mimicking Salt and Pepper? But also, he also did another hair show with Monique and Kalita Smith and Taraji P. Henson. He was also a hairdresser in that movie too. I said, I remember him. He was a fine man back in the day. When I saw his face, I said, "Oh wow, you have aged," but not in a bad way. He just looked like life has been rough. I mean, he looked the same, but not the same. But that was pretty much like a divine intervention right there. Like, you discovered a cousin, and I ended up meeting someone I used to work with 10 years ago. Wow, look at that. They dated on and off for 20 years, but now they're strictly co-parents and amazing friends. Just co-parents of one child, but y'all, it's not much co-parent you can do. The child's grown. Anyway, whatever. So then she lets her know about being invited to sing with Candace on stage, right? So then she called Candy. And she's like, "Hey, Candy, look, we got family in the background." Where we see Courtney. And Candy was like, "Girl, I don't want to see her." But then she was like, "Oh my God, no, I don't want to be messy." I said, "Drew, you can't be this oblivious. Ralph had to have told you, or he wasn't fully there when things got heated. But he did know his cousin was a part of that. And you're going to be like, 'I don't want to be messy.' No. So Kenny was like, Drew calling me to show me Courtney is like some bullshit. I don't want to talk to that lady. But no, the main purpose of her call was to let her know that Candace invited her to sing and that they're going to perform together. And she's like, "That's great. I told you she did that," which is the truth. So I see y'all later. I'm going to invite y'all. Wondering what did happen between Courtney and Candy. She says she's over it. It's not that big of a deal. But she did say that Sonya was the one who told Courtney she should confront her. But then when it came down to the actual confrontation, Sonya said she didn't tell her to do that. You did, Sonya. Just the same way as Marlo told her she can confront her too. And Drew having a history with Sonya, she mentioned that Sonya could be very tricky. She could be very much a flip flopper. She can, cause they were building a really good friendship. Then all of a sudden she wants to switch up. Cause you have to watch her. You could be nice with her. You can think you're moving forward. You can think you're really developing something really good. But then all of a sudden, when she's around all the other people, she wants to bring up all these issues she has with you. And you've never known not one thing. And that's exactly what Sonya did last season. Sonya acted fake with Drew all that time, but then once all the girls got together, she wants to bring up an issue that she had with Drew that Drew wasn't aware of. I'm like, yep, that's her. Then, with the switch up that Sonya be doing, all of a sudden they were moving forward. Then she got an unfollow. I'm like, y'all about to kill me with this shit for real. An unfollow, get away from me with this. You know what I'm saying? Um. So then BravoCon, I'm just like, get out of my face with this, y'all. This is so like irrelevant. This is stupid. It's exhausting. And I'm mostly mad at Sonya for creating such an exhausting issue that's not even a big issue. I just felt like Sonya thought that her being an Olympic gold medalist was supposed to be just enough splash, but she figured I gotta actually make some shit happen. But the way she did it was fake. It was weird. It was unnecessary. But seeing how they can move forward, then Marlo had a quick scene with her nephews in the car and how they have to get good grades and she wants them to be safe because she lost her nephew 2 years ago with gun violence. Her nephew was a chef and he lost his life just like that. So she recognized that the world is cruel and that she wants to make sure that her nephews are in a better place safely, which I can understand that. Drew brought Courtney along with her. Y'all gotten that close after one meeting where you bringing her around everybody. You hanging out with her like that. Fine. You've only met her like 5 minutes ago. Anyway, she was able to listen to Candace's song. It was a beautiful song. It resonated with her about how believing in yourself and believing in your dreams. And of course, since we only know her as an actress, we haven't seen her in a singer capacity. But she's ready to prove everybody wrong. So all the ladies came to support her, and Sonya is really getting on my nerves because she says that, no, she's giving me the energy that she's been the main one trying to resolve the issue between her and Drew when she's the main one who started the issues between her and Drew. Saying how it's been really hard to develop a friendship with Drew, but she be going back and forth, and I don't know where her energy is going to be coming from. I'm like, Sonya fucking missed me. I'm sorry. Sonya is exhausting. Sonya is fake. She's fake, okay? Because I still feel like you looked for an opportunity to not be associated with Drew, and that's what you did. You waited for an opportunity to say, okay, here's my issue with her over stupid shit. Anyway, Marlo came in. Everybody said, hey, hey, hey. So Marlo knows that Kenny still don't forgive her about what happened last season. Sonya trying to get messy, wanted to know, so what's up? We not talking to Marlo? What's the tea? Kenya said, I said good. I'm fine. Candy said, I'm keeping my distance. Manietta got a bone to pick with her because one thing I don't do fake. Okay? Don't smile in my face and talk shit. That's not who I am. And the reason why is because last season, Manietta came over to talk to Marlo, and Marlo said, oh, look, Manietta got permission from Candy to be over here. Pretty much saying that she's a flunky, she's a minion, she ain't got her own thoughts, and Manietta don't play that shit. Don't come at me as if you know me. Yeah, I gotta talk to her about that. Courtney came in, nobody was happy to see her, except for Sonya and Marlo. Where is Sheree? Sheree is feeling under the weather, but she's not feeling the weather. She just did not want to support Drew and saying, I did not want to see Drew flop it, so I'm going to stay at home. I said, girl, the same girl who had a fitness line, clothing line, whatever line for 14 years, finally decided to drop it, failed, website crashed, ain't nobody buying expensive ass sweatshirts and expensive ass two-piece sets, and Drew ended up making merch earlier than that. The merch about being uninvited from Sonya's thing, that merch sold more than your shit. Sonya, Sheree, you just a fucking hater. I'm sorry. Sheree is such a hater that everything she says is a woman who doesn't have the drive to do the things she wants to do. When she doesn't have the drive, she talks down to everybody else. Miss me. Candace came on stage. I did not like Candace's outfit nor her wig. I hated that color wig. I hated it. That Beyonce wig. I hated it. Um, so when she called Drew on stage, she only sung a few lines. I would love me all the way. Something like that. I'm like, okay, I'm hearing the runs, hearing the harmonization, but what else? And everybody was like, no, I want more, encore. Everybody was like, you mean tell me you came all the way on stage just to say a few bars, a few hymns and haws and oohs? That's it? Oh no, we ain't gonna do that. I mean, maybe it was because it was Candace's set that she can only have a minute or two up there. Even Sonya had to throw shade that her speed time, her ran time was longer than that. Yeah, by 6 seconds. You ran 49 seconds. She was on stage for 43 seconds. Certain things, whatever. I don't care. Well, she was coming off from a high because she was so happy that she did it. She took a leap of faith. I really wish Drew would have chose a different outfit, but either way, she was comfortable. And how this came out my career. Ralph says, I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. And seeing her light up of Ralph telling her how much he supports her, he loves her, he's willing to be a part of this all the way. She's feeling like, yes, my marriage is good. We're really, really good. We could really do this. I'm like, damn, we just know the outcome of it all. Like, we can see them either faking the funk. Is it real? Is it fake? Or did y'all really have a moment where things were going good? Y'all could have reached that point of, we're going to save our marriage. We're going to fight for our marriage. That's what it could be. Who knows, right? But then all the ladies meet up. They go to this little room and they all have a discussion about why didn't Drew sing a little bit more or sing her song? But like she said, I was only invited to support my friend. And that was her set. And maybe either Candace did not explain what was her purpose of sharing the stage with her. But I guess just wanted to give her that opening slot. Maybe the opening slot should have been to open up for Candace. You know, maybe she could have sung her song before Candace. But then I don't know how that would have worked. I don't know. But either way, she did it. So it's all good. It's all good. And Kenya mentioned that Sign gave a standing ovation. She's like, what? Really? Yes. I mean, she included everybody that we all wanted to see more. And I'm happy you did. I'm very proud of you. Then she goes right into the mess. So Drew, this is my issue, right? I just feel like, where are we? Because you sent me a text message extending an olive branch, wanting to invite me to your mom's birthday. Then at BravoCon, it's a different story. So what is it? So Drew mentioned the merch that she dropped. You know, the uninvited, disinvited merch she dropped, and maybe she figured that would have been the reason. No, it was the hair flip. The hair flip that we did not see when the reunion was actually airing. Because we kept seeing the trailer of it, but then they didn't show the hair flip at the actual reunion. So that's really what bothers Drew, Sonya the most about the hair flip. And she didn't know about the merch afterwards. Fine. But all because of a hair flip though, Sonya. For real. Oh, and then she talked about where are we? Because the one thing I don't do is I don't flip flop. I don't. I said, Sonya, the fuck you do flip flop. Yes, you do. And we saw you definitely flip flop when it came down to not sticking up for Candy against Courtney, a girl who you just met. Anyway, that's it though, Sonya. You are a flip flopper. You flip so freaking times. You are a freaking wheel. Just keep on spinning, 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 because you keep flipping. Okay, miss me. Um. Then of course, Drew felt like, listen, the way that things were moving between us, we can squash all that. The fact that you came here to support me is enough for me. This is the olive branch right here. Everybody is screaming, squash that beef, squash that beef, because everybody is tired of it. Everybody, keep that mess elsewhere. Put it over there. We ain't got time for these issues. So Drew wanted to know, what did she miss? What's been going on? Candy mentions that Courtney had more things to say to Sonya about her. And that was with Courtney mentioning that there was an exclusive place that Candy went. And then the next week, the ghetto came out. The hood came out. Courtney said, yeah, I said it, but I'm also ghetto too. I'm from the hood. You know, that's a good thing. And this is like, what? The way you tried to say it, as if Kenny's beneath you because all she has is hood friends, the ratchet friends. Girl, bye. Like, don't say that. That makes no sense whatsoever. And listen, because I come from a range of people who support me, I'm doing the same thing in return. That's a good thing, all right? And Courtney is doing too much again. She's clapping, being high pitched. And it's like, girl, sit back. And I agree with Candy. You should never look down on the places you came from. Because Courtney was giving me, no, I have friends that are black. No, you don't understand. I am not racist. I have black friends. My best friend is black. That's exactly what that gave me. That gave me Doris. What's her name? Is it Doris? What's that white girl name? Off of new Housewives of Beverly Hills. Start with a D. I cannot remember her name because she tried to act like she's so multicultural and everything, but it's just like, girl, annoying. I cannot think of her name for the life of me. It's annoying me. But that's who that reminded me of. Um, then talk about how Candy's triggered. She said, "Yeah, I'm triggered because you do not know me, ma'am." And listen, when I say go here, because I bring everybody out, but I wanted Candy to not give her so much energy. Don't give her this. This is ridiculous. They want to get a rise out of you, and they only want to catch you yelling and not catch her, giving her the same energy. Don't do it, Candy. Don't do it. Don't do it, all right? Now, either that was deaded or shut down. I don't know. Then Sonya wanted to bring up Monietta having an issue with Marlo. I said Sonya trying to get everybody else to talk about something ain't her. That's exactly what Sonya does. She wants to bring up issues when there's a group of people around. And since that's why she wanted to know from everyone how you feel about Marlo, what's the issue with Courtney, so we can get this shit going. Marlo, no, Manietta felt like Marlo tried to play her. She said, I did? Yes. What did I say? You tried to act as if I don't have my own mind. I don't have my own thoughts because you said I came over here because of Candy. Candy gave me permission to come over here. And I didn't like that. He looking confused. She looking confused. Did I say that? When did I say that? He said it in Jamaica last season. Okay? But then brought up how Monietta don't pick sides. She don't have nothing to do with it. Respect me, I respect you. And it's like, yes. Is that all you have to say to me, beloved? Is that all I have to say to me, beautiful? I'm like, Marlos, go to hell. Go to hell, go to hell, go to hell. Please go to hell, okay? Then after that, I mean, I give Manya defending that I am my own person. I have my own thoughts in mind. You will not act as if I'm a minion to nobody. Period. Okay? And Marlo always do that. But anyway. Then it led to Drew asking Candy what happened at Blaze. Because Drew was at Blaze 2 days before the incident. Marlo looking around like, what incident? What happened? What incident? The incident that happened with Candy at her restaurant. Oh, the shooting. I'm like, what? So Marla was so classless because we already know what happened. Everybody said what happened. It was on the news, right? But she said, we don't have to talk about it. It's a private matter. It's a legal matter. Because either Drew was prompted by production to ask about it because they didn't get much out of Candy in the last episode of wanting to discuss it. But she ended up telling everybody what happened in the confessional. There's nothing else to tell. We know what happened. Her cousin ended up getting shot by an employee, and that's it. There's nothing else to say. And if she don't want to go into it because it's a legal matter, that should be respected. So Marlo feels like, and I'm gonna go, because this is what I'm saying. She never talks about anything, and I'm gonna leave. I was like, what? It's a complete switch of Marlo. You were insensitive by wanting to get upset at Drew for not mentioning what actually happened. So she didn't want to say shooting. She wanted to say incident. That's what it was. And it was shut down because it's a private matter. And you're mad over her not saying anything. And Candy's like, listen, girl, if you want to get mad, how about you talk about the fact excuse me, girl, if you want to talk about certain things, let's talk about how you cut a girl's face 23 years ago. She's like, oh my God, that was 23 years ago. We're not going to do this. And then she wants to play victim that people are always bringing up her past, the men she used to be with, her mother, the boys. I'm like, well, the boys will always be mentioned, Marlo, because you kicked the boys out last season. and you're trying to tell us, the viewers, that we misinterpreted what you were saying. We misinterpreted what you meant. No, we didn't. We saw exactly what you did. We saw exactly what you meant, and you're never going to convince us otherwise. I mean, that was pretty much the first time we've looked inside your life before. And you want to get mad that people are bringing that up about you, but you want to get mad about Candy not talking about certain things? Girl, you always bring up things from people's past, Marlo. That's your MO. You constantly hurt Kenya by bringing up her mother didn't want her. And you bring up the issues or the comments that Mama Joy says about Todd. Like, you can miss me, but then when you get the same exact energy, you're like, oh, you're trying to hurt me. You're trying to hurt me. It's like, girl, bye. Then how whenever it comes to Candy, everybody sweeps it under the rug. It gets swept. It doesn't get talked about. It because Candy never shows her life. She does show her life. She does. You, however, don't. Oh my God. Okay. It ended with let's all have fun. And then 30 minutes later, production has wrapped, right? Marlo was having an argument with Drew over not using the word shooting. And Drew was like, I will not make it a moment of losing family members to gun violence because I've lost people. But if that's you, that's you. You want to say shooting, you say shooting. But I'm not about to be creating a moment of gun violence. That's not what I'm about to do. So I don't know why Marlo was so fixated of the word shooting instead of saying an incident, because it was all over the news. We saw what happened. Yes, it was a shooting at Blaze. What the hell? Why do you want that to be mentioned again? For what? Like, Drew was trying to make it clear. If you got it, you got it, girl. But that's not me. Now, Marlo feels like Drew doesn't know what it feels like to lose family members to gun violence because she can't say the word shooting. And it's triggering for her. How is it triggering for you when you were so eager to say shooting when Drew mentioned incident? I feel like Drew is being very sensitive of not talking about what actually happened. But you, however, being classless, to want to say, oh, we're talking about the shooting? But then you want to bring up how you lost a family member to gun violence. Okay, yes, you lost your nephew 2 years ago to gun violence, okay? But either Marlo got in her head that people protect Candy from talking about her life, and it always comes back to Marlo to always bring up her life. Marlo, you're not honest. You lie about your life. But, okay. So then she mentioned the nephew that passed away, right? There's a text message of Marlo telling Candy about her nephew. Did you know he used to work for you? Yes, but not anymore. He recently passed away. He got killed. And in the background, she mentioned how he got killed by his roommate. So she said that Candy didn't care in the message because what I read was she was sorry. Then she said she brought it up the next day and Candy didn't remember what she was talking about. So we got unseen footage of her talking about her sister calling her. They said they killed my son and they shot him right then and there. Candy said, damn, really? I don't know what Marlo is saying that Candy didn't care about it. Candy wasn't concerned. I heard her say, damn, really? And I'm sorry to hear that. So what? Do you feel like you weren't getting enough attention? Because I don't know, because we've never heard about this, Marlo. We've never heard of you losing a nephew to gun violence. This has been 2 years ago. So this was in 2021, 2020, around that time. And you just got a peach. So I'm confused about how we are just now finding out this information and you expect for what? People to come grovel, oh my God, woo, woo, woo? I don't know. Like, you felt like you didn't get enough attention, like someone was talking. So you figured that if we brought up Candy and her situation, you wanted someone to say, Marlo, how do you feel about hearing about another shooting? Because you dealt with that as well, right? Because you lost a nephew. But if we didn't know about that, Marlo, how could someone even think of asking you about how you were feeling of hearing that another shootout happened? Because you actually lost someone in a shootout. You lost someone. Candy nephew was shot, but he's still here. He survived. I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Because that don't make no sense to me. She's all like, Google my nephew. He died. Google it, please. And then she's all spiraling out. My nephew is dead. My nephew is dead. I'm just like, what the hell? I was Drew. When she got yelled at, she's looking at the camera crew like, what just happened? Why is she yelling at me? Where is this misdirected anger coming from, Marlo? Where is it coming from? I really want to know. Where is it coming from? Because it don't make no sense to me. It really don't. And say, stop acting, stop acting. F you, F you, F you. I was like, Marlo, what was that? No, for real. What was that? Because that didn't make no sense to me. You really got mad that you was not included in a conversation about gun violence, but yet you made it an issue that Drew never said the actual word. All I can't even decipher it because it doesn't make any sense. Why create an issue over something that shouldn't even be an issue? That's Marlo. Because Marlo feels like if she's not included in things, she doesn't know how to deal with things. It's like how she's not relatable in a lot of things. So she figured, I know this, but nobody's asking me about this. Nobody's looking at me. Why is somebody looking at me? That's still being effing selfish though, Marlo. You are supposed to be grieving for your nephew who passed away 2 years ago, but you are so concerned with who's asking you how you're feeling. Why isn't nobody including you how you're feeling? Girl, Marlo, you can miss me with this misdirected anger. You're mad that you don't have nothing else going on for yourself. And you're mad that all the attention does not go on you because you don't. I can't. Anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.